Yeah, you're good. You just went down
Okay,
again.
cool. I'm just texting, that's why.
Yeah, no, look, you a one-man band out there. Behind his seat and leave comments below. This is a make or break season for. He's got to make an impact. Good morning, good morning. Welcome back to the show. It is March 20th, Wednesday, hump day. The day where we can cruise through and get through the week a lot faster because we just feel better nearing the week. But today we have a tough guest on the show, tough Bareknuckle fighter. We have some NFL stuff to talk about. But more importantly, we're going to dive right into that because I just want to tell you, this girl on the show today, Monica Franco, one of the toughest human beings, woman for sure, but just tough in general. I don't know if you've seen who she was, but I was at her fight and she's live here and we got her to get on here a little bit early so you can see a little post-recovery of the fight. But let's bring her on right now. Welcome to the show, Monica Franco. Thanks for having you on today.
Definitely humbled and honored to be here. You have a pretty amazing setup, so cool. Appreciate the opportunity.
Awesome. Look, I was at your fight. We had to have you on here. I got to tell you, we have a lot of people that will be coming here today. A lot of people will be watching you as it goes live. We upload to social media. But I just want to tell you something. Before we get into a bunch of pictures, images, videos of what we saw, I just want to tell you, man, we saw you fight in person, there at Dolphin Mall in Miami. You're one of the toughest human beings I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, I turn around, I look at people, and I'm like, are you watching what I'm watching? Like, this is real right now. Man, anyway, I'm so glad to have you on here.
Mahalo.
So Monica, tell us where you're based right now.
I mean, I'm fighting out of Provo, Utah, primarily, originally from Honolulu, Hawaii. Definitely carry that island pride with me wherever I go. But I'm definitely, I just moved up here probably a little over a month ago now. And it's not home in many ways. I miss home in so many ways, but I look forward to the altitude training that I'm going to push myself through for sure. There's no doubt.
You're not even thinking about recovery. I mean, watching the fight and watching you get up there, can you show a little closer real quick, the audience, your stitches you have here? Just really, really quickly. That's right, one side. Okay, and that was right after the fight?
Yeah, it's just this side. It was just this side. This side didn't get too bust up. It's just more like,
bleeding.
Yeah.
But did you get stitched up on one side, two places over there?
Correct. Yeah, correct. They had to stop it. I believe they had to stop it because of this one. The one that one on the eyelid. The one on the eyelid. I think they had to stop it because of that one.
You didn't want to stop though. Like,
no.
I'm like, she doesn't care.
No.
Like, and I gotta, this is Monica at war. Just you guys pull in the chat right now. Good morning to all of you. Jim, good morning. Howard, Tracy, the house. We got the security of the house in the building here. Polo, Emily, look, I appreciate all of you that are jumping here and commenting. I know we'll have some fighters jumping in here too to watch you. But good morning to everybody here. We got a cool show to watch. This is the warrior that I saw fighting. I was right near the canvas with Howard in the background of the production of the show here with us too. He was there too, watching, going, we're turning around going, holy shit, are you watching? Like, seriously, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Like, this girl, woman, warrior, I'm baffled. Let me just say that. I'm baffled that, and this comes off wrong. I don't want to come off wrong, that a girl is that freaking tough. Like, I'm serious. Like, you watch guys fight, and they brawl. We fight in school. You fight in college. You fight in the locker rooms. Right? And then you see someone like you. You're like, that's a girl. Seriously. Like, she's going to beat your ass. She's a girl. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm just so impressed by you. Tell me what it's like when you walk out. What does this feel like?
I like to call it a balanced approach. I've been doing this for so long. I've had many different experiences with emotions. And if you let your emotions get the best of you, then you're not going to be any good in there. So I've come to this place in my life where it's just a sense of peace but at the same time, I bring that fire with me because, you know, you got to go to war for sure, but you got to stay composed in there. So just composure and
Really?
zoning, staying
Right
focused.
there. Right there. They put the Vaseline. What are they putting in your face? Tell us what's going on right now.
Yeah, that's Vaseline that they're putting on so that we don't get cut. And then again, just me kind of just remembering who I am and going through all of the scenarios that I've been through, um, and accepting whatever's going to come my way. Because in bare knuckle, it really is gladiator style stuff. So, you know, you got to go in there with a bit of acceptance as well that you're going to get hit. But I've always done that. But yeah, just a lot of different things. And just
You are
channeling that.
so impressive. Monica, you are, and I say that everyone that comes on here, I give them as much respect as possible, and I tell the truth too, no matter what athlete, and it's only my opinion, like doesn't have to be real or doesn't have to be true to everybody else, but I am so impressed by you. When I got home, I told my wife, I'm like, yo, this girl is I can't even explain what I was just watching out there, and you fought a really tough fighter, right? Like you didn't fight someone and get out there and just show up and fight someone who, okay, she's moderate, she's okay. No, she's really tough. Like you weren't scared. You didn't want to fight somebody that was a weaker opponent. Like it's like, doesn't matter, right? All bets off. I'm in there. I'm going for it.
Absolutely. I mean, I fought a lot of tough fighters in my career in general. She was no different. I look forward to the challenge. I've never really had anything easy in life, so why start now?
Right. And look at this. Look at this picture. This is Monica, listen. I know people can get a scratch. You can get scratched and have a lot of blood, like a little scratch.
Mhm.
But this wasn't a little scratch. This is, and I ask these guy fighters too. I'm like, what's it like? Tell people when you're cut, you need stitches. Everybody knows you need stitches. Like that's clear. But what are you feeling like when you go to your corner, right? And we'll talk about when you're fighting, but when you go to the corner and they jump out, they start cleaning you up after the end of the round. Are you feeling any different? Like, are you just like, it's just hot on my face? Is it painful? Tell the audience what's going through your mind right there.
If I'm being honest, this is the first time I got cut, and I'm glad I did.
Really?
I always questioned whether or not what would happen in a situation like this, and I was fine.
What?
I was so fine. Like I mean, like I couldn't see because the blood, but like other than that, I was just like, okay. Like literally, I was just like, okay, cool.
Whoa!
You know, just getting ready for the next round.
You're not even scared of anything, right? Like you're like, whatever. I'm bleeding, my eye, I can barely see out of my one eye.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was told to come in there and do a job, and I did just that. And as
Wow.
professional fighters, or as anybody in any professional sport, we are expected to compete at the highest levels, especially when we're injured. You know, one of my favorite athletes growing up and still to this day is Kobe Bryant. You know, may he rest in aloha. But
Yeah.
I learned a lot from that guy, and I was actually just listening to his podcast right before I came out, because that's what channels my inner dog and all that stuff. So yeah, I was ready to go no matter what. I was ready to go all 5 rounds. You know, the only thing, I was getting tired, yeah, sure, but I still know how to fight even when I'm tired. And I'm telling you, I'm still dangerous when I'm tired.
Yeah,
So,
I saw that. I mean,
you know,
I kept saying, "Oh, they're probably gonna stop the fight because she's bleeding," and not because of you. I mean, I looked at you. You were fighting. You couldn't see me, but I was looking at you, and I was like, "This is probably a good time to like say, not because losing, not because you were scared, not because you felt hurt, just because the blood loss, not being able to see, you know, what the reality and danger is if you continue to fight in some of those experiences, but." You weren't trying to stop this fight. Like you were like, this is cool. I'm the co-main event. I'm putting on a show. Right? Like fighters get paid, but bare knuckle fighting is growing. So it's not like every single fight you're walking out with this massive check where you're buying new cars and you're riding around like Conor McGregor. Like You're building that stature. You're
Absolutely.
helping build Bareknuckle and one of the fastest growing sports. And hats off to them. They're giving us all the media passes. They've been great to us, and we're looking to build a great partnership. But
Awesome.
tell us what right now, what your thought process is right now with your healing. Like you're just like, I'm ready to get back to training right now for the next fight right now.
Pretty much, yeah. Immediately after I watched the fight, I know there's certain things that I'm gonna implement. And if I was healed enough, I would be right back in there to the grind. It's just the same as my MMA career. I lost a lot of it was like submissions and stuff. I was right back to work the next week. That's just who I am. When I lose, it's even more of a drive for sure. And I'm
Yeah.
glad that I lost because there's been moments in my career because it's been so extensive and life happens and you're not where you want to be per se. I lost some of that fire at different moments in life. I didn't lose it with this one. I was very grateful for this one, but what I'm saying is it just reignited that even more so.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to get back in there and I'm ready to get to work because I know what I can do and I'm looking forward to doing it.
You're so impressive for so many reasons. And as I talk about this, coming out of here, I want to ask you something. A lot of people that are from Miami, born and
Hmm.
raised in Miami. I'm originally from New Jersey.
Okay.
Born in Pennsylvania, grew up in New Jersey, lived in New York, a Northeast guy. Moved to Miami about 12 years ago. And at this point, I've been here for a long time, so I feel more home, more comfortable. But you flying in from Utah, and you're from Hawaii, so that's not even your home. You're flying to Miami. You come out to fight. You're fighting a Miami girl, and she's a beast, and you're having a big support system. I want to get into your family right now, but having a big support system is so huge. And I know you can't have that big of a support system in Miami because you're not even near your home. So it's like, I want you to tell me, what is it like getting into the ring? As a woman and a warrior you are, you don't have that big support system. You're going out, you're fighting for your life, like out there. Anything can happen. You're fighting for your life. You don't have all this family and friends there, and you're fighting someone from Florida who's got all these people and all these fans. And by the way, they loved and supported you. Everyone thought you were amazing. There was no boo and all this and that. It was like, you did your thing. I saw you do your little prayer. You came and it was like, this girl is impressive. What's that like fighting away from your home, area?
I've been doing it now since Invicta. My support system is always with me no matter where I go. My first BKFC fight was in Denver, so I fought a hometown girl again, uh, in an even bigger crowd. So that experience helped for sure. But I always go in there feeling the support from my ohana back home in Hawaii, and scattered throughout the states, California, Vegas, Utah. Um, and maybe it's just the experience that I've been through and understanding, but I always feel that support. My parents couldn't be with me. This was the first time they couldn't be with me. They've been to every fight since I was an amateur starting out. That was like the only thing missing, but I felt their presence nonetheless. And
Were they
um
watching it?
yeah, they were watching it. Everybody was watching it for sure.
Oh my God. Monica, I know grown men, like grown ass men, their parents cannot watch the fight. Their moms cannot watch the fight. My cousin is getting ready to fight again, and his mom cannot watch the fight. And they're moving up. He's going to become a pro, and he's doing all this stuff now. I have a lot of cousins that have been fighting and growing up. My family comes from a fighting
Nice,
background, military background, all that.
nice.
Like, they're watching you fight in person for all these times, and they're
Hmm.
not at this one.
Hmm.
This was probably your toughest test yet,
Absolutely. Hmm.
okay? And I know they're proud of you. Everyone, I'm proud of you. Shit, I mean, everyone's proud of you. But like, they got to be sitting there going, "Oh my God, stop the fight!" Right? Are they? What is their? Tell what did they think? What did they say about this fight when they're
I mean,
watching this?
they were very emotional for sure. But I think it was hard for them more so in the beginning of my career, and I think this one was very emotional for sure because this is the most damage I've received. I I just think that they, like me, they accept and they understand what I'm doing. They know that I'm not just going in there like wilding out. I'm very skilled at what I do, and I'm very good at what I do. And I think them understanding that, and obviously with God's help, they've come to a place in their lives where they're just very just balanced and even kill. However, they weren't through my entire career process, they weren't ever like or anything, just very
Right.
composed, very even kill. So yeah. I mean, they were very emotional for sure, like super emotional in
If
different
my daughter was in the
ways.
ring, I have a daughter now. She's 1 year old. She
Yeah.
is, and I tell people this, and I have two boys, and I have a daughter, and I have another son on the way. And I have a pretty big family at this point. I never thought I'd have four, but I'm having four. If in fact my daughter was in the ring, first of all, I don't know how my breathing would be going at that point, right? But if I was watching this and I was seeing you up there, even if you're winning the fight, looking the way you were looking in the ring, because like I said, a little tiny scratch can bleed everywhere. I've seen my kids show up mouth blood everywhere. I'm like, oh my God, my kid's like dying. And it's been like a little cut. It's like nothing, right? So you're
Yeah.
like, oh my God, like, but in this position, they're at home rooting for you, and you came out swinging. You didn't come out like, oh, be careful. You came out ready to win a fight, and I was just like impressed with that. But then when
Absolutely.
they see all this going on, they got to be like, oh, they're just feeling for their daughter, who they can't even hug
Absolutely.
after the fight, right? Like my daughter, everything. I'm sure you called them. I'm sure you're like,
I
I'm
did.
fine. I'm good,
Mhm.
mom. Relax, dad.
Mhm.
Whatever. But
Yeah,
that's a tough situation. Like that phone call is tough,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah, yeah, it was a very, I could tell that my mom was crying and stuff like that. And you're right, like my dad was more like anger or whatever, of the situation, not of the person that I'm fighting against and stuff like that, just of the situation. But I was definitely more lively after this fight. My debut was in Denver, Colorado, and that fight went differently. But yeah, I we spoke, and they heard the life in me, and they knew exactly um how strong I was in there, and they knew had the docs not stopped it, it would have went all five. And they're very proud of me and stuff. So it was a it was a very good moment for the all of us, as it
We got
always
some people in
is.
here right now too. I just saw Merc, young Merc is here. You saw Merc
Nice.
fight, right? Like Marcus is out there. He's in
Oh
here.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Okay.
he's on here
Right
now.
on.
So he said Merc is here. So he's showing love and support. I appreciate that.
Mahalo.
Guy, you know what's so cool is you build this. Yeah, I'm sure he can see you in here. Merc, she says, what's up? I'm sure you're watching. Um, you know, you build this support amongst all
Hmm.
you fighters, and take your time. If you got something with your eye, I know it's a lot going on.
Yeah.
um, I, what I want to say is the support that you get from the bare knuckle community, and
Yeah.
and I can tell you this from doing a couple interviews and showing up at the fight, they were coming up to me. I only know a few of them at first, and I felt like, man, I'm like kind of at home. Like I thought
Yeah.
bare knuckle was the only place I'd be like, oh, this is gruesome, right? But it was like so much love and support. So I just want to say you have that. Like you have a lot of people that love what you're doing, and they're supporting you and back you. And it's like I am just. I know everyone before you came on, I was saying this girl's a warrior. I just want to know where do you pull that from? Is it family? Is it culture? I seen a grown man in there get hit once, sit on the ground, kneel down, and look, I didn't hate on him. I said, look, he got hit. Hey, whatever he's feeling in his head right now, he's not getting up. He wasn't really bleeding. I don't even think he even got hit that hard. I think he said, holy shit, I'm not doing this. And the guy that fought Mark was like, get up. He was like, I'm good right here on the canvas. And
That's
so,
my friend Marcus. You're talking about that tall guy, the tall
yeah,
Viking looking dude.
he's in
And
here
then he
right
fought.
now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He fought I made friends with my other Marcus too, but right on.
Yeah.
Um Yeah, I know which fight you're talking about. Mm-hmm.
But they
Yeah.
come out and they're hitting guys. These guys are not getting up. Like they're sitting on the canvas and they're just like, I am going to stay right here because I just got hit by Merck or I just got hit by AG or I just got hit by somebody else. I'm going to sit on
Got
this
hit by a
canvas and
Viking.
I'm going to drive home tonight feeling perfectly fine right now. But you, on the other hand, you're like, I don't give a shit what's going on. I'm still fighting until that ref said it's over. I told the guy next to me, I'm like, they're going to stop the fight for sure. They're stopping the fight. And then I see the girls come up, round 2, round 3. I'm like, yo, this girl is still doing this shit. Like, she doesn't care. Where do you get this heart from? Tell us about, real quick, your culture. Like, where do you pull this from? Is it you grew up like that? Is it instilled in you? Where does that come from?
I think it's a combination of a lot of things. I think obviously my ohana for sure, my culture, my Hawaiian culture for sure. Um, it's the pure passion and love that I've always had for it since the age of 15 when I started in martial arts. Because that was a safe haven for me, growing up. I dealt with a lot of um bullying and mental and emotional abuse from not my parents but just from family members in your life that you're supposed to respect and love, but yet they do stuff like that. And then obviously dealing with bullying from the outside. So martial arts has always been my passion and my safe haven. So I take pride in that. I got my black belt in Taekwondo. Um, so God, obviously, the support of my true family and true friends, because throughout my journey, you come across a lot of people who aren't really your true family, who aren't really your true friends, but the ride or dies because they're still with you from the beginning until the end.
Yeah.
And just my journey in life and the things that I've been through, watching, growing up in Waianae, Max Holloway will tell you this too. You're exposed to a lot of different things. I was exposed to violence,
Yeah.
whether it has been uh, uh, watching some of your family members getting beaten up
Wow.
from not good men, or from just watching your cousins throw down because they had to defend people like me because I couldn't defend myself. So watching your cousins throw down for bullies in the family and bullies on the playground, and them just not giving any shits and
Mm.
willing to do it regardless of if they lost or not. So there's just a lot of different things that I draw from now today and that I'm grateful for.
Wow.
And yeah, I hope
It's
that
just,
answers your question. Sorry.
yeah. No, no, you did. I mean, I love that deep into the background. It's so important. And, and I have a question for you and some of the
Mhm.
people and some of the fans, that as this expands, the network keeps growing. What do you have to say to the fans that are watching you, the people that some of them are getting to know you, some have known you for a while? You got your friends out in Hawaii. It's
Mhm.
early in the morning right now out there. What, 4, 5, 6 in the morning, something like that.
Yeah,
Utah
for
right
sure.
now, 8 in the morning.
Mhm.
What do you have to say to the fans that are starting to get to know you and go, wow, I want to follow her. I'm going to follow her on Instagram. I'm going to follow her social media because you motivate them in different ways. What do you have to say to those people?
First of all, always mahalo nui loa, which just means thank you very much in Hawaiian. What you see is what you're gonna get. I am who I am. I'm trying not to be anybody else but myself. So as you follow me and continue to follow me, you'll see somebody who's gonna work to be one of the greatest of all times in this sport, because I believe that I can do that and I will work until I get to a point where that happens. So what you're gonna see is just a journey of somebody willing to work hard, willing to outwork anybody that they put in front of me. And you're gonna get my heart, you're gonna get my passion. If you wanna talk story with me, cool. I don't mind talking story. I love talking story.
Yeah.
Um, and I will try to get to know you guys as much as you guys want to get to know me, because I am no different from any of you, or nor will I ever be. I am blessed with God-given skills to to go out there and perform. But I encourage you guys that whatever you truly have a passion for, to just keep pushing, because you're looking at somebody who's been doing it since 15, and I didn't get the opportunities that other fighters on my island got, at different moments in time. But, here I am now doing it in a sport that I truly love. I'm not just here to get paid. I'm here to look at my weaknesses and to get better at it, because I really do love it. I feel like BKFC has given me my honest platform of showcasing what I really can do with my hands. I grew up as a striker. I love MMA, and I love MMA and what it's done for me. If I didn't go through all of my battles with MMA, I wouldn't be equipped for BKFC. It's not for the faint of heart, and it really is a different breed. You're either a warrior or a gladiator of some kind to be stepping in there. And I'm telling you right now, champions of the UFC would not be able to hang in this sport. Honestly, if there's one that I know it would be Max. I know Max could hang for sure. I know the Hawaii fighters can hang for sure.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a different breed and a different sport. And I am excited to be here. I want to be here, and I'm gonna do my best for sure.
Wow. I got to tell you, like I said, I've been amazed and watching you. We showed our clips, showed you fighting here. And then what I have to say is this: you're putting on a show. BKFC, I'm getting to know these guys a lot. Their goal is to build a big platform. I don't want to speak for them, but I'm sure they're going to build a big platform, great fights, great entertainment, great people, right? Like I said, When I'm speaking for them, I know they probably want something great. Mm-hmm. What will the BKFC, similar question, but what will the BKFC get? I know for the fans, I know you're giving them the same thing, but they're going to have to pick another fight for you and reach out to you and see if you want to sign another fight, another deal, obviously. What will they get in this girl right here? Just speaking to the BKFC only right now, in a quick nutshell, what are they going to get out of you?
They're going to get so much more than what they saw last week, Friday, because I'm willing to put in the work. They're going to get my heart and my passion and my dedication and my commitment. For sure.
You're so impressive in so many ways.
And to add on that, I will always fight my ass off. Like I said, the boss came in and he told us to fight our asses off. And you know what? I'm going to do that because they deserve it. The fans deserve it. I deserve it. So, yeah.
Monica, thanks. Look, I appreciate having you on today. I look forward to talking with you a lot more as your fights progress. I know you're healing. I know you have a couple battle wounds there. And I was at the fight, watched you. I'm impressed by you. A lot of people are impressed by you. I said that, and I'm giving you that praise because it's truthful. But I look forward to watching you grow, following you on social media, staying connected with you. Any sponsors we have that are coming, we're passing them some of these fighters, and I'll be definitely reaching out to you with any kind of sponsorships, especially some of these girl clothing lines and stuff. They'd be so interested to see someone like you. We're going to make those connections for you as well. I look forward to having you back on again soon.
Same, for sure. Right. I really appreciate it.
Talk soon, Monica. Stay strong.
Okay.
Moving on, guys. I hope you guys watched that. Very impressive. So glad to watch her. It was so impressive. But moving on right now to Jimmy Garoppolo to the Rams as a backup quarterback. I was with the Raiders, had a stint there, went to the Patriots. It was Tom Brady. Then he went to San Francisco. Didn't work out. Obviously wasn't there long. Well, he worked out, but he wasn't there long enough to make a real impact. And then he went to the Raiders and now to the Rams. And it's like, then he has a little bit of a story here, a little interesting conflict. I think he's got a suspension we pulled up because of some kind of thing that he was taking. It says a PED suspension. Expresses now he'll get a fresh start, but I think he's suspended for the first 2 games. I have on here. He's had a couple setbacks, looking to get started with the Rams, jump in there. He will be the backup, 32-year-old backup for the Rams. Obviously, they already have a pretty interesting setup there. But I just want to say something. These quarterbacks are finding better avenues on their second and third contracts. But Jimmy Garoppolo has been moving around the NFL a lot, team to team. It looks like he can get there and play a little bit, but I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo will be in the NFL for the next few years. I think after 1 year, 2 years, I think that will be more of the end of his career, just being that he keeps moving into a backup situation. Next topic, we got the Browns defensive tackle, Maurice Hurst. He leaks in NFL news. He gets on there live in a podcast and conversation, but then he says, look, he looks forward to playing out in Brazil against the Eagles, right? And people are like, whoa, we didn't even know the Eagles were playing. So he leaked a little bit of piece of information for people in the NFL to know that the Browns will be traveling to Brazil to play and expand the NFL map as they continue to play, obviously, in outside countries. They play in London, and now Brazil's coming up, but people didn't even know who was going to be playing against the Eagles, and now we find out the Browns defensive tackle, Maurice Hurst, has leaked that information, so now you guys know that they're the ones that are playing in Brazil for the NFL matchup out there. Next topic, Dak Prescott. Could he get an extended contract? It looks like he might, which is crazy. People are like, well, I don't like Dak Prescott. He can't win playoff games, and we've seen that now because every single season they have a great year. They win games 10-6 or 10-7 or whatever. They get to the playoffs. It's great. Just can't win the big game. Renegotiating his contract, moving around, trying to move some cap space money around. But now they're like, look, he's got 1 year left. It was like $160 million or something crazy. And they're like, well, this year we're bringing it to more people. They're talking about extending his contract. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know what you guys think, but if you're watching the NFL and you're watching Dak Prescott all these years and all this money he's making, all this stuff, people are like, come on now. Why give him the money? But then some people are like, I love Dak Prescott, right? So kind of hit or miss, right? He was up for MVP conversation. That's got to mean something, right? So if you're like, oh, I want to pass on him, but he's up for the MVP conversation. Very confusing system, right? Like, I want to keep him there, but I want him to go. And it's like, I think the Dallas Cowboys have a couple of moving pieces. They need to play a little bit of chess and less checkers because CeeDee Lamb, right? Michael Parsons, some of the family got involved, throwing a little bit of shade at Dak Prescott, blaming him for some of the losses. But now this season, as they bring in more players, some more talent, this is the year. And I've been saying last year it was a must-win season, but this is the final season of his contract that renegotiated. This is the year Dak Prescott has to put up some numbers. They got to get deep into the playoffs and hopefully to the Super Bowl because he already had a big payday and he's looking for another massive payday. Moving on to the next topic, NHL, Chris Simon commits suicide at age 52. Okay, now, if you don't know who this is, it's a guy skating around the ice like Rocky. Like, this guy was literally fighting on ice. He was that player on your team that, he could play hockey, but he was backing up all his buddies. Like, he was the one throwing down in the penalty box all the time. And I got to tell you, I learned a lot about hockey this past year. And you just got those guys on your team where they're good players. They're not the great top tier players. They're pretty good players, but they're great fighters. And those guys are skating around the ice, almost like skating without a stick. Like, you don't even need the stick, right? Like, you're just looking for a fight because that's what you do. Like, somebody on their team is balling. Like, they're scoring, they're winning, they're good. You start a fight with that guy, right? Because you take that guy out game, there you go, right? So the NHL is interesting, and that's who this guy was. Unfortunately, this guy has committed suicide, right? So at age 52, which is sad, all the facts, all that's coming out, which is obviously terrible at a very young age, but he was the brawler. He was the guy on the ice. People are like, oh my God, like, I'm not skating by him. Like, you look at him the wrong way. This guy wants to fight on that. He's like, but anyway, long story short, yes, rest in peace, Rip. I see you on there, Polo. Oh, Polo's in the chat too. You got to hit this guy up for some gear, man. Clothes, hoodies, sweatshirts. He's in the chat right now. You can communicate with him. He's going to do some orders with some of the fighters, some of the players. He's going to do some sponsorship deals we can do and get that brand out there as well. Next piece of the pie is a show quote of the day we do for you guys every day to get your day started off great. You got to hear this. Winners never quit, and quitters never win. Okay, let that sink in. This is a very strong quote. I do it every single day at the end of the show. I want you guys to take this in, hit the like button, make sure you subscribe. This is so important, and this goes out, obviously, to all the fighters that are going in there today, and especially to Monica Franco, who we just had live on the show. She was a warrior out there. But look at this. Winners never quit, and quitters never win. If you're going to be a winner, there's no quitting. You can't quit if you want to get to the top. And quite frankly, quitters never win. I like that quote, it's pretty self-explanatory and easy to understand as we're building and as you're building and you're watching this right now. It's hump day. Get out there and do something special today. Get one more step closer. If you're in here and you're the fighter, hit that heavy bag one more time. Run that last lap. Take that next step. Anybody else that's in business, do that next thing. Read that next book or study that next chapter. Do what you got to do because, listen, read it one more time for you. Winners never quit and quitters never win. I appreciate all of you guys joining the show today. We have an action-packed week. And then in the next week, we have a lot of other players. We have fighters more coming on this week. We have NFL guys coming on, some college players for the draft. It's going to get really interesting and some celebrity stuff I'll talk to you about. Once some of the papers are signed and things, I can make an announcement with some networks. I look forward to seeing you guys bright and early tomorrow on Thursday. Have a great rest of your day. Travel safe. Move safe. Until next time.